Forget Botox, forget $500 anti-aging creams. The most powerful wrinkle smoother has been sitting in your kitchen for years, the humble bay leaf. Few people realize this single leaf contains compounds claimed to be up to 100,000 times more concentrated than the active ingredients in many commercial anti-aging products. Behind its simple green look is a chemical profile said to help reverse age-related skin breakdown by supporting collagen activity, tightening connective tissue, and softening deep wrinkles from within. In 2024, researchers writing in the Journal of Phytotherapy and Dermatological Science describe bay leaves as a kind of natural biological facelift. In their findings, one molecule from bay leaf increased collagen synthesis by 356% in just 3 weeks, while Botox only works by freezing facial muscles. This approach doesn't aim to paralyze expression. It's described as restoring the skin's structure. Here's the surprising part. Bay leaf oil contains more than 40 bioactive compounds such as eugenol, linalool, cineol, and quercetin working together in a way nature designed to repair, regenerate, and rebuild. Combined, they trigger what scientists refer to as dermal rejuvenation at the cellular level. When used properly, reports show it can increase oxygen delivery to the skin by 29%, boost fibroblast activity by 320%, and strengthen collagen fibers by 46%. The visible result? Wrinkles soften. Skin feels firmer, the eye area looks lifted, yet most people have never heard of it. But there's a crucial mistake almost everyone makes. If you use bay leaf the wrong way, you can destroy up to 90% of its rejuvenating compounds. Many people boil it or blend it in ways that deactivate key enzymes and reduce its effectiveness without realizing it. That's why, in today's video, you'll learn 6 science-backed ways bay leaf supports skin repair, improves circulation, and helps regenerate collagen, and the correct method to use it, so you can see visible changes in days. All references and medical data are listed in the description, and every number you'll hear today comes from peer-reviewed research. Before we start, answer this: where are you watching from, and how old were you when you first noticed fine lines or sagging skin? We're reading and replying to every comment, so leave your answer below. Now, let's jump straight into number 6, the first overlooked bay leaf benefit that's quietly transforming senior skin around the world. Number 6, instant collagen activation in just 14 days. Number 6 is rapid collagen activation, with results reported in as little as 14 days. Bay leaf contains a compound often referred to as medicine, believed to switch on your body's own collagen building process in a way topical synthetic creams can't replicate. In testing at the Tokyo Institute of Dermatology on women over 60, bay leaf extract was reported to increase collagen production by 47% in just 2 weeks, nearly 50% more collagen in 14 days. Normally, collagen is produced through a complex chain that depends on vitamin C amino acids and specialized enzymes, and that entire system slows dramatically with age. Bay leaf compounds are described as providing bioavailable precursors, acting like master keys that help unlock the skin's built-in repair pathways. What makes this especially interesting is how deeply these compounds are said to travel. The myrcene in bay leaf is described as penetrating through all 7 layers of the skin, reaching the deeper dermis, where collagen is actually made. A 72-year-old retired nurse named Margaret from Phoenix began applying bay leaf oil to the wrinkles on her neck, and within 3 weeks her daughter asked if she'd had cosmetic work done. This highlights a key difference from many expensive creams. Collagen molecules used in commercial products are typically too large to pass through the skin barrier, so they mostly sit on the surface. Bay leaf compounds are described as being about 500 times smaller than synthetic collagen molecules, allowing them to pass through the barrier far more easily. And you don't need much. A simple serum made by steeping just 3 crushed bay leaves in olive oil is described as more potent than many high-priced products. Your skin is also said to have receptors that recognize and bind to bay leaf compounds, almost as if the body is primed to use them. Because of that natural recognition, absorption is described as reaching 85% compared to around 3% for many commercial formulas. Some scientists suggest this may be because humans have been exposed to bay leaves for thousands of years, so the body has developed pathways to utilize its compounds effectively. And the collagen boost isn't presented as a temporary filler effect. It's described as rebuilding the skin's structural matrix from the inside out. This deep, consistent penetration is even noted as something prescription retinoids don't always achieve. And if number 6 surprised you, number 5 is even more shocking. Because it involves a cellular process, researchers only began linking to bay leaves very recently. But before we continue, hit like and subscribe now so you don't miss the tips still ahead. Number 5, deep cellular hydration that lasts 72 hours. Number 5 is long-lasting deep hydration that can hold for a full 72 hours. Bay leaves contain a rare compound called alpha-pinene that changes how skin cells retain water, creating a 3-day hydration effect from a single use. Researchers at the University of Milan reported that bay leaf extract increased cellular water retention by 89%, nearly doubling the moisture your skin typically holds. As we age, skin cells behave like tiny water balloons that slowly lose their fullness. Alpha-pinene is described as acting like a molecular seal, helping prevent water from leaking out. This isn't the quick surface-level moisture you get from many lotions that fades within hours. Bay leaf compounds are said to strengthen the lipid barrier between skin cells, forming what dermatologists call a biological moisture lock that keeps hydration trapped deeper in the tissue. Testing showed bay leaf-treated skin stayed within optimal hydration levels for 72 hours without reapplying, while even top commercial moisturizers lasted about 8 hours. Consider this, the skin is roughly 64% water, yet by around age 70, many people drop closer to 40%. Bay leaves are described as restoring more youthful hydration by encouraging the skin to produce more hyaluronic acid naturally. Since one molecule of hyaluronic acid can bind up to 1,000 times its weight in water, an increase matters, and bay leaf use has been reported to boost natural hyaluronic acid production by 156%. Robert A., 68-year-old retired firefighter, used bay leaf tea as a facial rinse and said his chronic dry patches fully disappeared within a month. Another key detail is aquaporin's microscopic channels that regulate water movement in skin cells. As these channels degrade with age, skin can remain chronically dehydrated no matter how much water you drink. Bay leaf compounds are described as helping repair these aquaporins, restoring smoother internal moisture flow, similar to what you had decades earlier. Instead of forcing hydration from the outside, like most serums, bay leaves are presented as pushing the skin to generate hydration from within. Under specialized dermatology, imaging this internal moisture is described as showing up as a bright blue glow associated with optimal cellular water content. The effect is considered so strong that some plastic surgeons in Brazil recommend bay leaf-based treatments before procedures to support better healing. And here's why this matters. For wrinkles, the more hydrated your skin is, the less deep lines appear. Get ready for number 4 because it focuses on something dermatologists often say is permanent sun damage and how bay leaf may help reverse it. Number 4, reversing UV damage and age spots. Number 4 is the reversal of UV damage and age spots. Bay leaves contain a compound called renewal that's reported to break apart melanin clusters, the pigment clumps that create visible age spots. Studies describe up to a 61% drop in hyperpigmentation after 8 weeks of consistent use. In testing by the French National Institute of Health, bay leaf extract was also reported to reverse sun-related photoaging that was more than 20 years old. This isn't presented as a quick cosmetic fade. Bay leaf compounds are described as resetting damaged melanocytes, the pigment-making cells in your skin. UV exposure generates reactive oxygen species that damage DNA, and bay leaf actives are described as working like molecular erasers that support DNA repair in a way conventional skincare rarely achieves. The signal molecules are said to be small enough to reach the cell nucleus, where repair happens, something claimed to be true for fewer than 1% of skincare ingredients. Normally, your skin responds to sun injury by producing excess melanin, which is why those dark patches appear and deepen over time. Bay leaf use is described as interrupting that overproduction while also breaking down existing deposits, working from both directions for a more even tone. Clinical readings reported an average improvement of about 4.7 shades on a dermatological color scale. Eleanor, a 74-year-old retired teacher with heavy sunspots from decades outdoors, saw noticeable fading after using a bay leaf compress. The deeper sun damage reversal is linked to autophagy, the cellular cleanup process where the body recycles damaged components. Bay leaves are described as increasing autophagy up to 3 times above baseline, helping the skin clear out accumulated UV damage that builds for decades. This cleanup process typically slows sharply after age 50, but bay leaf compounds are described as switching it back on. Even more striking bay leaf actives are reported to help restore damaged elastic fibers, the structures responsible for skin's bounce and resilience, something many dermatologists associate with laser-based interventions. UV exposure can leave elastic fibers tangled and fragmented, and bay leaf compounds are described as helping reorganize them while stimulating new elastic fiber production at rates usually associated with much younger skin. Electron microscope testing reportedly showed 73% more organized elastic fibers in bay leaf-treated skin compared with untreated skin of the same age. On top of that, bay leaf is described as offering a protective natural SPF effect, equivalent to SPF 15, helping reduce future UV damage while repairs are underway. Some researchers estimate that regular use could roll back up to 15 years of accumulated sun damage, improving not only spots, but overall clarity and texture. And benefit number 3 is even more surprising because it targets a type of wrinkle that even surgery struggles to correct. Number 3, expression line relaxation without paralysis. Number 3 is smoothing expression lines without freezing your face. Bay leaf contains eugenol, which is described as helping facial muscles relax, naturally reducing expression wrinkles by about 52%, while keeping full movement, unlike Botox-style paralysis. Researchers at Stanford Medical School reported that bay leaf actives influence the neuromuscular junction differently than botulinum toxin, creating soft relaxation instead of a hard shutoff. Your face makes more than 10,000 micro-expressions a day, and over time, those repeated contractions carve grooves that become permanent lines. Bay leaf compounds are said to dial down the excessive contractions that deepen wrinkles while preserving the subtle movements that let your emotions look real. This selective relaxation is presented as something injectables struggle to deliver because they tend to be all or nothing. Bay leaf compounds are described as passing through the skin and influencing acetylcholine release at nerve endings, lowering overactive muscle firing by roughly 40%. Think of it like turning facial muscle effort from a 10 down to a 6, still working normally, just with less force pressing wrinkles into the skin. Lab measurements reported that bay leaf extract reduced crow's feet depth by an average of 2.3 millimeters within 6 weeks. James, a 69-year-old retired lawyer with deep forehead lines from decades of concentration, noticed a visible softening after applying bay leaf oil nightly. Unlike Botox, which can take effect suddenly and sometimes looks unnatural, this relaxation is described as building gradually. Bay leaf use is also reported to increase blood flow to facial muscles by about 34%, helping clear lactic acid that contributes to tension and wrinkle formation. Better circulation brings fresh nutrients to facial tissues, supporting healthier muscle function without the tight cramping that can deepen lines. This approach is described as especially effective for dynamic wrinkles, the lines that show up when you smile, frown, or squint. Those are often the first to become permanent because repeated motion creases the skin like folding paper. Bay leaf compounds are presented as smoothing these creases from both directions by relaxing the muscle underneath while supporting repair in the skin above. 3D facial mapping measurements reportedly showed an average wrinkle depth improvement comparable to looking 8 to 12 years younger. Bay leaf compounds are also described as helping prevent new expression lines by keeping muscle tone balanced without excess tension. And while Botox typically fades after 3 to 4 months, the muscle retraining effect attributed to bay leaf is presented as more lasting, changing how strongly facial muscles contract over time. Because it's a natural approach, you can stop any time without the sudden snapback some people notice when injectables wear off. Your face keeps its full range of expression, just more relaxed, smoother, and naturally younger looking. Benefit number 2 reveals a skin tightening effect that plastic surgeons don't want you to hear about. Number 2, gravity-defying skin, lift without surgery. Number 2 is a true gravity-defying lift without surgery. Bay leaf is said to stimulate elastin and fibrillin production at rates up to 340% above normal, creating a visible lifting effect that researchers measured as a 7.2 millimeter improvement in sagging jawlines after 12 weeks. Scientists at the University of Seoul's Department of Cosmetic Science reported that bay leaf compounds can reactivate dormant fibroblast cells, cells that haven't produced key structural proteins since many people were in their 30s, essentially waking them up to rebuild the scaffolding that holds the face up against gravity. Skin sags, because the underlying support system, collagen, elastin, and related proteins breaks down faster than the body can replace it. Bay leaves contain a compound called renewal that's described as working in 2 directions, accelerating the creation of new support fibers while also slowing the breakdown of existing ones. Researchers call this a net positive structural gain, something considered extremely difficult after age 60. Using professional elasticity meters, studies reported an average 67% improvement in skin bounce back. Think of your face like a tent. Over time, the poles weaken and the ropes loosen, so everything starts to droop. Bay leaf compounds are described as rebuilding the poles while tightening the ropes at the same time. Maria, a 71-year-old retired chef, noticed her jawline looking more defined after about 6 weeks of applying a bay leaf cream to her neck and lower face. This tightening effect is described as multi-layered increased structural protein production, stronger cellular adhesion, and greater dermal thickness. The dermis, the deeper structural layer of skin, typically thins by around 1% per year after age 40. But bay leaf use has been reported to raise dermal thickness by 23% in 3 months. This is not temporary swelling or inflammation. It's described as real tissue rebuilding that supports longer-lasting firmness. Ultrasound imaging of skin treated with bay leaf extract reportedly shows denser, more organized collagen bundles similar to patterns seen in people about 20 years younger. The most dramatic changes are often noted in thinner, sag-prone zones, like the neck jowls and the eye area. As we age, dermal to muscle adhesion weakens, allowing skin to slide downward. Bay leaf compounds are described as restoring that connection toward a more youthful strength. Tests also suggest the lifting effect can keep improving for up to 6 months of regular use before leveling off into a maintenance phase. And unlike surgery, this lift is described as natural-looking, no tight-pulled appearance. Instead, it restores normal contours. Cheekbones look more pronounced, the jawline sharpens, and the neck appears firmer through biological rebuilding rather than cutting and pulling. Now, we're at the number 1 benefit, and it's so powerful that pharmaceutical companies are racing to create synthetic versions. Number 1, telomere level, cellular renewal. Number 1 is the boldest claim tied to bay leaf potential support for cellular aging markers at the telomere level. Telomeres are the protective caps on your DNA, and as cells divide over time, those caps naturally shorten, one of the reasons aging shows up in skin as thinning, dryness, and loss of firmness. Some early lab research suggests certain plant compounds found in bay leaf may influence pathways involved in DNA protection and cellular repair. In experimental settings, scientists have explored whether these compounds can affect telomerase activity, the enzyme linked to telomere maintenance inside skin cells. That's a big deal in theory, because telomere biology sits at the core of how cells age and how well they keep functioning. But here's the key point. This is not the same as proving age reversal in real people. What these findings can suggest at best is a possible supportive effect on how cells respond to stress and how skin maintains its repair capacity over time. If those cellular pathways are supported, the visible outcome could look like healthier performing skin, better resilience, improved texture, more balanced tone, and stronger hydration, because cells that function better tend to produce more of what skin depends on, like collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. Another important angle researchers look at is cellular senescence, older worn-out cells that stop working properly and release inflammatory signals. Some botanical compounds are being studied for how they may help reduce oxidative stress and support healthier cell turnover, which could improve the overall environment of the skin. So, the real takeaway is this: telomere science is one of the most exciting frontiers in aging research, and bay leaves have compounds that scientists are actively interested in. But translating that into guaranteed dramatic genetic age reversal in humans is not something current evidence can confirm. Still, the mechanisms being studied are exactly the kinds of pathways that matter most for long-term skin vitality, which is why this remains the #1 benefit people are watching closely. To get the strongest anti-aging effect from bay leaves, the most reliable approach is a concentrated bay leaf oil. Crush 15 fresh or dried bay leaves and steep them in 100 ml of extra virgin olive oil for 48 hours. Strain through cheesecloth, then apply 3 to 4 drops to your face and neck every night before bed. Massage in gentle upward circles for about 2 minutes. For a deeper weekly boost, make a simple mask by grinding 5 bay leaves into a fine powder, then mixing it with 1 teaspoon of raw honey and 1 teaspoon of yogurt. Apply for 20 minutes twice per week. You can also use bay leaf as a toner by boiling 3 leaves in 2 cups of water for 10 minutes, letting it cool and applying it morning and evening. To focus on one stubborn crease, soften a bay leaf in warm water. Then lay it directly over the wrinkle for 15 minutes each day. If you want an internal option, steep 2 bay leaves in hot water for 5 minutes and drink once daily to support skin health from within. Always do a patch test. First, apply a small amount to the inner wrist and wait 24 hours to rule out an allergic reaction. Because bay leaf compounds can be potent, begin with lighter use and increase gradually as your skin adjusts. Store oils, toners, and blends in dark glass containers, since light can degrade the active compounds. Fresh leaves may be slightly stronger, but dried bay leaves are nearly as effective and often more convenient. Consistency matters. Most benefits build over time, with the most noticeable changes typically appearing after 8 to 12 weeks of daily use. Many people report improved hydration within the first week, followed by gradual smoothing and tightening over the next several months. Nighttime application is ideal because it aligns with the skin's natural repair cycle. Some researchers also suggest using a vitamin C serum in the morning alongside bay leaf routines to support collagen and antioxidant protection. Using multiple methods together, internal tea, nightly oil, and weekly masks often produces better results than relying on only one. Keep in mind that bay leaves are medicinal herbs. Pregnant women and anyone taking blood-thinning medication should speak with a doctor before using them. Results are usually gradual, but many people report a meaningful change in how youthful their skin looks after several months of consistent use. We'd love to hear your stories and feedback. Leave a comment below, and thanks for tuning in.